Hello and welcome to Boomer Live. Of course, today we are here to talk about the game of RCB versus Sunrisers Hyderabad. Of course, if you have to talk about the game, there's nothing much to talk because the match just got over, way before time, and RCB just capitulated to just a score of 68. Of course, if you're an RCB fan, you're gonna have a tough night. I also have a KKR fan with me joining, so of course, if you are an RCB and a KKR fan today, you're gonna be having a very tough night indeed. But of course, let's talk about the game. It was Sunrisers who won the toss, which looked like a very good deck, and they put RCB to bed. And it was Marco Janssen who ran in and bowled, and that one over changed the entire course of the game, where he picked up 3 wickets, where he got out Faf du Plessis with a Jaffa, and Virat Kohli for another golden duck. That we definitely will be talking about that, and Anuj Rawat for another duck. And from there on, it was always a uphill task for RCB, and you cannot expect all the time Dinesh Karthik and Glenn Maxwell and Shahbaz Ahmed saving you. And this time around, when it backfired, it just looks very bad for RCB. And on the other hand, Sunrisers chases out quite comfortably with 9 wickets in hand, which means they go second in the table with the net run rate at a soaring high rate. I have Sandipani to talk about it. Welcome, Sandipani, on the show.
Yeah, hi Abel.
Hi. So let's talk about it. Let's get to that first match, which just got over. And of course, we'll talk about the second match as well later on the show. What do you reckon was that RCB's batting approach? For a while, we've been complaining about their top order misery. It's not the first time where they've lost the top order quite cheaply. And today, yet again, the middle order doesn't fire the top order, and the entire team looks in total disarray, isn't it? And let's talk about that over from Marco Janssen. What an over that was.
I think all in all, it's been a template game for both RCB and SRH. We have been talking about RCB's collapses, early top order collapses for a long time right now. We spoke about it in the first. This is their fourth batting collapse in 8 games.
Yeah.
Uh, we have spoken again and again. Every day, Dinesh Karthik or Shahbaz Ahmed will not save the game for you. Your top order needs to fire. Your top order needs to contribute in any way, and I don't think they could do much about it because once Marco Janssen bowled that amazing over, uh, like also the mode of dismissal. Du Plessis was out bowled, Kohli edging to the cordons, and same with Rawat. He was bowling great test match line, a bit fuller on the fuller side. I think the pitch was again on it was very ideal for the SRH bowling attack and the bowling form that they are in. And to add to that, I think it has been another template game for SRH. Win the toss, opt to field first, restrict your opposition for a low score, and chase it down comfortably. That's been their
Exactly.
motto this season, and they
True.
are mounting up some comeback. Yeah, five out of five now.
I mean, that's some momentum with them because now you're all of a sudden looking at this team like a title contenders. These lads have picked up close to 40 wickets. On the pace attack has close to picked up 40 wickets before this game in 7 matches. And today, if I have to calculate, I reckon it's 48 total in 8 games now. If you
Yeah,
have to calculate it, 48 in eight
yeah.
games. You have to give credit to Dale Steyn. And how big a factor is he in this dressing room? Because now all of a sudden you're looking at this team as the best fast bowling unit of this tournament. They've got variety. They've got a tall left arm pacer in Marco Janssen. They've got a dead bowling specialist in Natarajan, and he's also improved in his bowling up front as well. Some of the balls which he bowled today was absolute class apart. Then they have a Bhuvaneshwar Kumar who will pick you wickets up front and also in the death. Then they have Umran Malik, a tear-away pacer. So what makes this pace bowling unit very different from others? And is it Dale Steyn factor, or is it just that their variety makes them different?
No, definitely they are one of the best bowling attacks in the it seems right now that they are one of the best bowling attacks in the competition, definitely. And mentorship plays a very important role. As I said in our earlier streams, I have mentioned Brian Lara coming in, speaking to Nicholas Pura and Aiden Markram, justifying their roles. That you don't have to always finish the game in the 15th or 16th over and play a rash shot and get out early in your innings. Just settle down, uh, take the game to the end, and you will comfortably win a chase. Talking about Dale Steyn, he was one of the best, if not the best, bowlers of his times.
Right.
He has given his mentorship is of true value, and also you can see that he enjoys looking at his pacers performing well. That Yorker to Shreyas Iyer the other game Umran Malik bowled that Yorker and Dale Steyn was celebrating it. So yeah, a fast bowler's delight basically. And 48 wickets in 8 games, which means 6 wickets apiece. And if your bowling attack, if 16 overs of the 20 are being bowled by pacers, then you got to pick those wickets, and they are picking it, and so they are winning the
Yeah,
games. So it's
16
that
quality
simple.
overs. I probably at the start of the season where they did not have Marco Janssen. That's where they possibly struggled slightly. Where they played, what's that baller's name? I'm not getting the baller's name. The West Indian baller. What was his name? Can you guess it?
Yeah, Romario Shepherd. I think
Romario
Shepherd
Shepherd,
plays.
exactly.
Yeah,
Romario Shepherd, where they played Romario Shepherd, where he just looked way too jaded to be there and he wasn't contributing with the bat either. But the moment they brought in Marco Janssen, this bowling attack looks way more threatening for any opposition. And they are very penetrative because you have Marco Janssen who can bowl up front with that height. He's been able to extract a lot more bounce in pitches, which is very low in bounce. And also, Bombay pitches have traditionally held fast bowlers up front. So that's been able to be enjoyed by them. So let's talk about RCB now, getting back to the game. I think there was an issue with the stream. I think it's back.
yeah. Sorry. I think it's my net.
I think it's a stream issue. There was an issue with the stream. Uh, so meanwhile, we get Sandipani back on the stream. We'll just talk about that bowling attack
Yeah,
again. Sandipani, welcome back. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about RCB. You can get losses like this, and it's so important for a team to put this behind because it's right in the middle of the tournament where you have gained momentum through the course of the tournament. And if you lose it in between, how important it is to put this loss behind and prepare for the next game because IPL is such a long tournament as well.
I think we have seen one game per tournament. Like this has been the case for RCB, where they struggle in one game of the tournament, where they score below 100, they get bundled out, they look in no touch whatsoever. Like it was one of those days for them, but I don't think it will impact them in a very great manner, so that they can't bounce back in the next one. I think they'll bounce back in the next one because they have a class batting as well as bowling attack. Once you are all out for 68, you don't expect much from the bowlers. But I would have loved to see Josh Hazelwood and Mohammad Siraj bowl a bit on the fuller side. We saw Marco Janssen produce those 3 deliveries, all bowling like full deliveries. Like they were on the fuller side. Even Natarajan got his wickets of the fuller deliveries. So I think they could have gone a bit fuller, but I think that's just the line and length Hazelwood bowls. Normally, he's more of a good length bowler.
Right.
Hits that pitch hard. Yeah. So I think they could
Yeah.
have gone a bit hard about it, but you can't blame their bowlers, especially.
I mean, we'll
So
get to
we have
that
a
question.
question.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that question definitely. Yeah, you rightly mentioned about Hazelwood and Siraj bowling on the fuller side, but when you're just defending a mere 69 odd, how it's just desperation more than sticking to your game plan, and you cannot blame the bowlers at all here. What
No,
they
definitely
in a
not.
bat, it was a complete batting collapse from RCB's end, and it was one of those days where RCB would like to put it behind. But let's talk about that big debate which is going on now. Even we did discuss with Nikhil as well. It just doesn't look like a technical issue with him right now, isn't it? It just looks like a mental block where he's so desperate for runs and he's unable to do it. And you have seen it with some of the greatest of the game where they go through this lean patch. Of course, Virat had a technical flaw back in 2014, but right now it just looks like runs aren't coming to him. You saw runouts in this season. Now
Yeah,
two
yeah.
golden ducks. He has never gotten. He has only gotten ducks before in each season. He's gotten 2013 once, 17 once, 22 like at the last game. The first time he's ever got two ducks in a season. So and that was a golden duck. So it just adds to the misery of Virat Kohli, the batsman, right now. What should he do from a mental aspect? Because technical aspect doesn't seem to bother him at all.
See, technical aspect will not be a problem for Virat Kohli. We all know that, and it's just a phase. It's been going on for a long time now, and hence so many questions are being raised. But if you are raising questions on Virat Kohli, we should also raise questions on Rohit Sharma's form.
Yeah.
Like he has also, like, he I think averages around 14 or 15 this season, but he has gone under the radar. Kohli has been the highlight because you expect Kohli to perform for whichever team franchise he plays for, and two golden ducks. I think I mean it will definitely haunt him, but I think he is doing nothing wrong. I don't think it's got to do with the breaks or something. It's just unlucky. You have to say he has also had some of the most unusual and unlucky dismissals this season, like that run out over there, the controversial DRS review on the LBW against Mumbai.
Mm.
So he has
Yeah.
had he's going through a very rough patch, luck wise as well as form wise. So I think
Yeah.
one half century and things may change very quickly for him.
Yep, definitely, because you have seen this with this lad, and he has bounced back in 2014 as well. And also talking about Rohit Sharma, if you're an Indian cricket fan, it's not a good news for you at all, because the two pillars are just struggling with runs, and it just doesn't look like it's a technical issue, it's just a mental issue with the I don't know if it's the pressure, if it's the amount of cricket with bubble, whatever it is. It just does not look good for Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma at this moment. But then you also expect them to come back strong. If you expect any players to come back strong, it's these two, because they have seen it all in their career. Now, thanks for that question, Shafiqullah Mohammed. Let's talk about the game which got over earlier today, because there's nothing much to talk about the second game, because it also got over in a very short span of time. RCB can only
Yeah.
put this behind as a nightmare, and SRH would be delighted 5 wins out of 5. Let's talk about the game which got over earlier, because it's about your team now, KKR. It was probably the bowling attack did very well, to restrict Gujarat Titans to 158 odd, because and also very little surprised that today Hardik Pandya won the toss and chose to bat, because he was the first ever captain in this IPL to do that. So
No, I think even if KKR would have won the toss, they would have batted first, because afternoon games and KKR chasing has never been a success for them. Like they struggle to chase in afternoon games. If you will even recall the previous games, the games that they won have been batting first. So I always had an intuition that whoever wins the toss will bat first. But again, Gujarat Titans, that's their like that has been their key to success this season. Win the toss, win or lose the toss, bat first. Basically, put up a good score on the board, and then you have Loki Ferguson, Mohammad Shami, and Rashid Khan to defend it. So they bank on their bowlers, and I think Yash has been a tremendous addition to their lineup.
yeah,
Uh, we'll get to that. I think it's a thing, but
yeah,
just to sum it up, I think it was a very tactical decision to win the toss and bat first. That paid off for them. Uh, KKR did, I think, something if it is not broken, why mend it? That's been the saying that has been going. If something is not broken, why do you have to mend it? I think Aaron Finch scored a very good half century in the last game. Why
right,
drop him and play Sam Billings? I think they had to fill in the role for Sheldon Jackson. They wanted to play Rinku
yeah,
Singh and they needed a keeper. So they went with Sam Billings. But I expected the change that Pat Cummins maybe dropped, because he had gone for 190 in 4 games,
right,
going at around what? Some 12 runs per over. You don't expect that from the best test bowler in the world right now.
right.
So, yeah, so Pat Cummins' decision to drop Pat Cummins was a good one. Team Saudi came in, proved to be very useful for them. Rinku Singh played a very good knock, not a very good knock, but a good knock. He kept them in the chase. But my question is, why mend something which is not broken? Why bring in Sam Billings and Rinku Singh in place of Sheldon Jackson and Alan Finch? And also
Absolutely.
Sheldon Jackson, I think he has been underused in this tournament. You can have one or two bad games, but you have to give them the chance. Like Rinku Singh was pushed up the order ahead of Russell and Venkatesh Iyer. So you
Right.
could have tried that with Sheldon Jackson too. He is a very good batsman. He is a very technical batsman. He can get you those runs very quickly in the power play as well.
Yeah.
To open with Narayan was a good choice, but if you have to play Billings and open with him, why not go for Aaron Finch?
True. I will definitely get to that point, because we've been discussing all over again in live. Why can't KKR be consistent with their batting order? Because that's one of the criticisms they've been receiving over the years now. Last 3 years, they have had their downfall when they have been very erratic with their batting order, because there's no fixation as to who's going to bat where. And that also creates a doubt into player role clarity. If you're making Venkatesh Iyer bat in number 6, the finisher one day, or make him open one day, it just does not feel right and feel right for him. And also there is no role clarity as to where he's going to bat next. Now let's talk about that. Do you reckon this has to do a lot with Brendan McCullum, the coach, because he has faced a lot of flack in the last couple of years for doing this so. And right now, you cannot definitely blame the captain. You've seen three captains, all the three captains following the same strategy, but then one person was permanent over there as Brendan McCullum. Do you reckon now it's just his calls where he's made sure that let the batting order be flexible? We'll send batsmen according to their situation. Well, that also means that the openers keep changing every match. Isn't that a really, really bad call to do that so?
Yeah, I think that's been the case for KKR for quite some time now. As you mentioned, that 3 years Brendan McCullum has been with them. But I won't blame Brendan McCullum. I think that's just the approach a team has taken. I mean, even Punjab Kings, they this season you have seen that they are going hard. In the previous seasons, you would see that KL Rahul used to hold up one end, and Mayank Agarwal would eventually settle down and go for the shots, and whoever came in would eventually go for the shots.
Yeah.
So I won't blame the system or Brendan McCullum in particular. I think it's just an approach. If it comes good, you will be like, wow, they are scoring 230, 240 every game. But
Yeah.
unfortunately for them, it's not been clicking, and it's been some time now. So they might reconsider their choice of approach. Is what I'll say right now. Uh, Also, again, it comes down to the game awareness. You need 59 of 7 overs. Russell has just hit two sixes of Yash. Rashid Khan is coming into bowl. He has 2 overs remaining. You know that you have only the like bowling all rounders and tailenders to follow. Venkatesh Iyer, why will you go for that shot against Rashid Khan? Completely does not make any sense. 59 of 7 overs, 40 of 4 overs. You have to play out one particular spinner and then you can just go for your shots. I think their game awareness has been, but again, it's got to do with the approach. That's the approach that they have taken. So, fingers will be laid on Brendan McCullum and this batting approach, but I think KKR will not change as they have not in the last 2.5 years.
Absolutely. We have a question here. We did speak about Sheldon Jackson, a keeper batsman who can bat at the top of the order. But if you look at the other end of the spectrum, there's also Indrajit Baba, who has done tremendously well for Tamil Nadu in the last couple of years. And if you ever talk about this season especially, he's had a great domestic record in the Ranji Trophy, the Syed Mustaqil Trophy, and also in the Vijay Hazare especially. Do you reckon it's time for them to consider him because he's the only option they have left now? If they talk about the batting ranks, they've got nobody else to try because they've tried out Rahane. They've tried out Venkatesh Iyer opening. Probably the last throw of the dice could be Indrajit Baba because he can also keep wickets, isn't it?
Uh, Indrajit Baba, yeah, he can keep wickets. I think they will not go for Baba Indrajit right away because if they would have gone for him, they would have like picked him by now. I think they are they the two combinations that they want to try is Aaron Finch. If you will go for Aaron Finch, then Sheldon Jackson. If you are going for the other combination, it's Rinku Singh and Sam Billings. Rinku Singh has done nothing wrong yet. Like today, he did nothing wrong. He took
Yeah, he picked up a
four
lot of
catches, I
catches
think.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he took
so,
4 catches and then he scored a handy 36, 37 to at least save KKR from some sort of embarrassment. You never know, they could have collapsed for 68.
right.
So I think Rinku Singh did nothing wrong, but I won't be surprised if both Sam Billings and Indrajit are dropped. Sam Billings and Rinku Singh are dropped in the next one to make way
Mm,
for Aaron Finch and Sheldon Jackson. Because I think KKR they have not found their best 11 yet.
yeah.
It's already coming down to the business end now, and you expect teams to get their best 11, play with their consistent best 11, and they'll get the results. As we have seen in the case for say Gujarat Titans, they don't shuffle with their combination a lot. An issue with their batting lineup was the number 3 slot. Sai Sudarshan was taking his game, and Vijay Shankar had no clue about what to do.
I mean,
But I
Hardik
think
Pandya
Hardik
looks like a
Pandya,
perfect
yeah,
suit in that
Hardik
position.
Pandya at number 3 is perfectly fine. Because if you lose 2 wickets early, I think you should send in Abhinav Manohar at number 4 or
Yep.
say a David Miller at number 4. Anybody
Yeah.
works. But
Yeah.
my again the problem arises when you have to have Rahul Tewatia coming in at number 5.
Yeah.
I think he's not. He's more of a bowling all rounder than a batting all rounder. They have
Right.
not used him with the ball. They did not need him with the ball this season. But with the bat, he has been like given promotions. He is coming in at number 5, number 6. He has been winning games for them, which is fine. But then again, if you speak about Gujarat Titans, they don't have the depth in their batting. So
Absolutely.
any day when their top order collapses, say Hardik Pandya and Shubman Gill goes early, then they'll face a lot of problem.
Absolutely. Talking about that, let's talk about something which you might have had a good day off the field. It is the fantasy sports, and where you can earn a lot of points and win a lot of prizes as well for totally free if you have played in Boomer 11. Sandipani, getting to you, how did your day go on your fantasy field?
I think I had a good day with the KKR game. With the RCB game, it was a bit off. It was an okay sort
Yeah,
of
it
a
was
day
definitely
because
off.
yeah, it definitely has to be off because in the smaller leagues you will win because you have those key contenders that you make as captain and vice captain. Natarajan was my vice captain,
Yeah.
so I got my like the money back, but it could have been better. Nobody expected RCB to collapse, get bundled out for 68, especially after scoring 190, 170, 180 in the last 3 games.
I think
So
I
yeah,
think if you're a Kolkata fan, you'll be knowing 23rd of April 2017, where they collapsed for 49. And if you're an RCB fan, you'll also remember 23rd April 2013, where they scored that mammoth 263 against Pune Warriors. So
Pune
23rd
Warriors.
April,
Yeah,
I think RCB should rather stop playing, because it doesn't look like the good 23rd April. Maybe next time around when
right.
they fix the calendars, they can be like, no, we're not going to turn up on 23rd April. Just reschedule our match for some other day. Talking about that, that's the end of the show, because that's all to talk about it. Then of course we can talk about something exciting as well in the coming days, because we'll be bringing up some exciting content for you guys. Maybe with Twitter Spaces, so do join us there. Also with Instagram, follow our Instagram, because we'll be keeping you entertained with some memes. And also to give you some exciting content, we'll be giving the fantasy prediction on daily basis, so you can make your teams using those fantasy predictions. And of course, follow our and subscribe to our YouTube channel, of course, because we'll be coming every day live to you people, where we will be putting out some banters, bringing some really good analysis, having some heated debating points as well, so you don't want to miss out on that. And also play the Boomer 11 contest. Why would you miss out on that? Because Boomer 11 is totally free to play, where you can play this IPL and win prizes worth up to $5,000. So why would you miss out on that chance? Because you can test your fantasy skills for free, and मुफ्त में मिल रहा है, तो क्यों ऐसा waste करना है भाई? जाके खेलो और have fun this IPL playing Boomer 11, and of course join us every day. Bye bye. Take care.
Yeah. Bye bye.